In this module of Zoogeography, we will be talking about communities and ecosystem, and in which we will be discussing about that how organisms are living together by making communities. So no organisms live in total isolation from all other. Every organism has some sort of relationship with all the other organisms that are found in the vicinity. The different organisms interact with one another in both the long and short term, competing for resources and sometimes excluding one another from certain areas. So, in short term or long term, the organisms are interacting with each other, and in some ways they are competing with each other. So, when the organisms are living together for long term, then there is evolution coming on when they are living together. So, over the evolutionary time, this can lead to populations specializing in certain ways, perhaps in the way they obtain food. So, if two organisms are living together and they are at the same place for so much time that the evolution is taking place in that time period, and that is called evolutionary time. What will happen that these two species will evolve in such a way that that how they behave in the environment, they will be evolved together, or the type of food they eat, or the type of microclimate in which they perform best. So everything they will be as they will be facing the selection pressure of the evolution together, so their evolution will be similar as well. So, what is a community? So, species rarely occur as single populations. Usually, they occur in a mixture of different species, and such an assemblage is termed as community. So, what is community? When different types of species are living together and they are interacting together, they form the community. And what is guild? The term guild is used for the animals that play a particular role in the community, such as plants sucking insects or insectivorous birds. So all of these are sort of guilds, all the organisms that are doing a particular job. The collection of all those organisms, we are terming those as guild. Some plants and animals occur together and are associated with specific habitat. So there are certain type of organism which will be only found in certain habitats. So and then there is the co-evolution. The species adapt. And why? How do the species adapt? They adopt both to cope with the physical demands of their environment and to cope with the presence of other species, and this will result into the co-evolution. In the co-evolution, the species either they are doing the evolution to tolerate one another or becoming dependent on one another. So in the both ways, they are doing the evolution together. They are evolving together. And then there is the next concept of phytosociology, and this is the concept which is a very important concept of the biogeography because it is related to the plants. Phyto, wherever the word phyto comes, that means the plants. So there is a sense of sociology among the plants, and this is the discipline of vegetation science, and it was first summarized by the view of two American ecologists, Clements and Henry Gleason, who began the discussion in 1910s and 1920s. So Clements regarded the plant community as an organic entity in which the positive interaction and interdependencies between the plants species lead to their being found in the distinct association that were frequently repeated in nature. So what Clements said, that when the plants are living in a particular area, they will coalesce together, and their interaction and interdependencies, they will make them the very closely knitted communities. And those closely knitted communities you will be able to see in the similar circumstances in the different parts of the world. And another approach which was given by the Gleason, and this was called individualistic concept, he pointed out that no two species have quite the same needs. So that means they very rarely do the distributional or ecological ranges of any two species coincide precisely. So they said that, okay, the species are living at the same place, but they have different ecological needs. When they are having the different ecological needs, that means they cannot have the same patterns of distribution in the similar environments or in the similar circumstances. And that was explained in the diagrammatic representation of two models of vegetation, which you can see here. In the A, you can see the model of Clements, in which the species requirement coincide, and you can see the bell-shaped curves are making some groups, and you can see the apparent three groups in the A, and leading to the separation of distinct communities. So each group of bell curves is making a community. And in the B, you can see the individualistic model of Gleason, in which each species is distributed independently and no clear communities are present. So whole region is making a one large community of the vegetation. So this is the diagrammatic representation of the two models of vegetation which were given by the Clements and Gleason respectively.